everybody. Welcome to It's the Kid Michael Show. This is our third episode. I am joined, as always, by Adam Ali.
How's it going?
Hey, Adam. And today's guest is a friend of ours from FIT. She is a she's an illustration student who has been featured in the Society of Illustrators. Uh,
Hi.
yeah. Marella, everybody.
Oh, hi.
How are you,
Sorry,
Marella?
I wasn't sure when my entrance was coming on.
Yeah, that's
I'm
fine.
good. How are you doing?
I'm okay. My back hurts. I hurt my back pretty bad, and now I'm in physical therapy. But uh, I'm living. Adam, still Ramadan?
Yeah,
How's that going?
surviving by the skin of my teeth.
Does it still feel easier because you're in quarantine?
No, I
No, you take that back.
think it makes it a little worse.
That's what I figured. But
Yeah, time is going by so slow every single day.
s- so what happens? You guys eat at the end of every day?
Yeah, when it's sunset, that's when we're allowed to eat and drink
Uh, oh, good luck with that.
and basically like have fun, live our lives.
How long does that go on for?
1 month.
Holy sh!
Yeah,
Yeah.
I complain about Lent, where you do that on one Friday for only once.
yeah. Muslims were like 1 week. That ain't enough suffering.
Someone on Facebook or something was asking me like, so are we not doing Lent this year? And I said we're kind of doing it, but like everyone's doing it. It's kind of like mandatory this year.
I know. We were like, what should we give up? And then as soon as it hit, we were like, well,
Basic
I
human
guess we're
rights.
just yeah. Everything.
Yeah. All right. So I have some notes up here, but Morella, have you seen any movies this week?
I've watched a couple. Last night I watched what's it? Shoot, Walk Hard.
Walk
The
Hard, like walking.
yeah, Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story.
Who's Dewey Cox?
So no, so it's like a comedy making fun of it's not recent, it's pretty old, but it's like a comedy making fun of the like you know how there's like all these movies for like about musicians coming out recently.
You
We
mean
have
like
like
Rocket
the
Man and whatnot?
yeah, Rocket Man and that Freddie Mercury one that came out, and they all follow the same like algorithm where they're
Mm-hmm.
like young as a child. So that was also like a fad in the like early mid 2000s, kind of like there was like a Johnny Cash movie and a
Amadeus kind of counts, I guess.
no, I'm no. Maybe that might count, but that's like a good movie.
Yeah. You didn't like the Freddie Mercury movie?
No, it was okay. But it definitely like it was just it like followed the same kind of uh lineup that all these other there's like the Ray Charles one.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically it's making fun of all those, and it's pretty funny.
The only thing I saw from that Freddie Mercury movie, I wish I could remember the name of it, is there's a scene that people were complaining was incredibly overly edited.
Oh my
Do you know
God,
what I'm
it's so
talking about?
bad.
It's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I've
disorienting.
seen.
It's
Oh,
so...
It's
and
like
that
every
one
2 seconds.
that one best editing
Yeah,
at the
that's very weird.
Oscars.
I don't know why they picked that. But
Well, it's because not a lot of smart people are actually judging.
so was it funny the Cox story? Whatever the was
It's really funny. I think it should have come out recently.
it?
Because it definitely like I feel like now everything's so overplayed.
Yeah.
The backstory, the biopic is
Recently,
so
but not this
overdone.
month. Recently.
Right? No, I mean in the grand scheme of
Yeah.
things,
I bet
within the
this.
year.
I bet this is good because it has John C. Riley in it.
Oh, it's good. It's got
He
John C.
was
Riley as
was
the
it? He
main
was just in a
character.
movie with what's his name? Will Ferrell, and people were saying it's like one of the worst movies they'd ever seen.
Oh no, was it
The
the
Sherlock
Sherlock
Holmes one,
one?
yeah.
I saw that in theaters when it came
Is it as bad
out.
as people said?
I was trying my hardest, like I was trying my damnedest to have a good time, so I was laughing, but it's not very good.
Yeah, that's a
Um,
bummer because they're usually really good together.
I was down because I was like a big Sherlock like Holmes fan for a while, like when I was
Uh-huh.
younger. So I was like kind of excited, like, but no, it's
Did you like
bad.
the Robert Downey Jr. one?
Yeah, those are good. They're coming out with a new one, I
Yeah,
think.
I like them, but it bothers me that they're too edgy for the hat.
Oh yeah, they like make fun of it. I
Dude,
don't
I don't
know.
remember they make fun of it. I just remember he doesn't wear it, and I guess they were like, "No, this is too like this is the Dark Knight of Sherlock Holmes. He can't wear a hat."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I hear the new one's coming out soon.
Did you see either of
Uh,
those, Adam? The Sherlock Holmes movies?
No, I have no knowledge of Sherlock Holmes whatsoever.
I used to watch the show.
What, Sherlock, the
Um,
BBC one?
yeah, it's not very good.
Yeah, it
It's
seemed kind of
not,
boring to
but
me. I mean, people really liked it at the time.
yeah, it was just one of those
It was
things.
like
And I was, what's that?
that was that era where everyone was saying Super Hulock
Oh
because
my God,
they just really
stop.
liked BBC.
I was on, I was in that, like, I was totally in that group of people. I loved Sherlock and I loved Supernatural and well Doctor Who. I loved them all. So I was really into that whole scene.
I have a good friend who is like so into Doctor Who, but it is scary. He's like you should get into it, but it's like it is scary getting into Doctor Who. Everyone's so intense.
Yeah, it's a journey. It's a very long show and it just got really bad and so I had to stop. Couldn't do it
Yeah.
after the 11th one.
Which is the 11th one? Is that the new one?
No, I don't know if they're on now, like 13.
They're still
It's like,
making Doctor Who.
yeah, it's the oldest show. It's been on since like the 60s.
No one talks about it anymore. I
It,
think
you,
the hype kind of died down.
wasn't it
Yeah.
an educational show when it started and it just didn't work?
I don't know. I don't know that.
Maybe I'm wrong about
Maybe
this, but I thought
the
I had heard.
first
I
the
thought I had.
first season's really boring.
Yeah, I had heard it was supposed to be like a teach people history thing, and then
Oh yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, and I guess it did really well because then they kept bringing it back.
it just occurred to me: was Peabody and Sherman supposed to be a spoof of Doctor Who? It just occurred.
Oh, I have no idea. I never thought about that. When did that come out?
I don't know.
Peabody
That
and
was.
Sherman.
It's in color. I used to love Peabody and Sherman. I don't remember when it. I don't know when it came out, but it was in color. I know that. So it black and black and white started in Doctor Who. Doctor Who started in black and white, right?
Yeah, but isn't Peabody and Sherman like a cartoon for kids?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You talking about the movie?
No, not the movie. There was in Rocky and Bullwinkle, the cartoon, they had like little cartoons that would interrupt the main cartoon. So one of them was like Dudley Do Right, who was like a Canadian Mountie, and then one of them was Mr. Peabody and Sherman, and they would like get into like a machine and go back in time, and the dog would explain to the kid what was going on.
So it's not even their own show. It's like a spin-off from
It's like
another show.
it's like so Rocky and Bullwinkle is weird because it was like a main show, but it had a variety element to it where like the main cartoon would be interrupted by smaller cartoons.
Uh,
But some people only remember the smaller ones. I feel like it's really weird.
yeah, they made a whole movie about Peabody and Sherman.
Yeah, and Dudley Do Right had a movie with a live action movie with my favorite person in the world. The hell's his name? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I
Stevie
just
Buscemi?
really like that line of dialogue you just had there. My
the-
favorite
the
person
mummy-
in the world.
the mummy
Ah,
guy.
who is he?
The mummy guy, who's
Oh, the guy from the Mummy.
yeah,
Brendan Fraser.
Brendan Fraser. Brendan Fraser, the greatest
News to
man.
me. I didn't know that Brendan Fraser is your favorite guy.
He's so great, and
His
I don't
favorite
know.
guy ever.
I don't know
Oh.
why he doesn't make as many movies anymore. I want him to get back in there. I am
I
so
think he
rooting.
was paying off like a divorce for a really long time.
I was reading that he was paying off a divorce.
That's
He
the
got
depressed
he got blacklisted because he got like this executive was being inappropriate with him, and he was like not having it.
Oh no, Brendan Fraser.
And the other thing was, I think because he did all his own stunts, and like he always did like really painful stunts, he was in and out of surgery for like the course of a year.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Stunt devils are for.
No, he was like he was in George the Jungle, and he was like, no, just fucking slam me against that tree, I guess.
Are you kidding me? No one can even pretend to be Brendan Fraser. He's unique. He's
Yeah.
his own.
Have you heard him talk recently?
I think I watched an interview with him promoting some show like a while ago. He's
What
like super
happened to
depressed.
him? He's like so soft spoken. It's like he got like I don't.
He
Well,
went through a horrible divorce.
I guess.
Well,
but
because
it's
he was
like-
in George of the Jungle.
Hey, don't
How he
don't
thinks about it.
slander.
He just thinks
George
about
of the
George the Jungle
Jungle.
constantly.
The
really
monkey
thought-
stole all the spotlight.
He like really thought that was gonna be his big thing. He was like, these mummy movies are all right, but George the Jungle is gonna be my ticket. He was the highest paid actor in Hollywood at one point.
Really? Holy shit.
Whoa.
Yeah, and then he just kind of fell off the earth. Right after Journey to the Center of the Earth, probably.
Oh, I saw that in theaters.
I also saw
That's
that,
the last
but
time I
don't
ever remember
him
seeing
being
him.
in it.
He was the
He
main
was
guy.
the dad.
He was the guy that was like, "We're still falling" in that one scene where they're like falling down the giant cavern. That's what I don't know.
Do
that was
not
my
remember
takeaway.
it that well.
Wasn't The Rock in Journey to the Center of the Earth?
No,
I
you're
don't
thinking of
remember
Brendan Fraser. No, The Rock was in.
Rock?
The
I
Rock
don't
was
think
in
he was it.
Journey to the Island or whatever, the sequel.
Wait, they thought that was so good that they were like, let's bring it back, but like with a rock instead.
Yeah,
basically, yeah.
As if someone can even take
Josh
Brendan
Hutcherson
Fraser's
was in
place.
both of those movies.
Josh Hutcherson?
Yeah, he was Brendan Fraser's son, and I guess in the second movie he was like, "Fuck my dad."
Oh, the kid from
The Hunger Games.
Hunger
Bridge to
Games.
Terabithia. Yeah.
Oh, that was a sad one.
Yeah, I remember crying all the way home. I went to see
Yeah,
because we didn't have a
that
car
movie-
that day.
That movie was sad as shit. I remember that too.
We walked. So Adam, you know where I live, and you know Sheepshead Bay, the theater.
Yeah.
We walked home from Sheepshead Bay. So picture that amount of time and just 3 people crying.
I have no idea how long that is.
That's like probably 40 minutes.
Well, there's like a highway that you have to walk on. Like it's like a straight path for like at least like 15 minutes. So just to picture like all these cars going by with the family sobbing.
Oh my god! I went to see with Adam, our friend Wayne. We went to see Doctor Strange at Sheepshead Bay,
Mm-hmm.
and we walked to the B100 at Marine Park, like from
Represent
Sheepshead.
Brooklyn, by the way.
What?
It represent Brooklyn in
Yeah.
case anyone that doesn't live in Brooklyn.
Yeah, we live in
knows what we're
Brooklyn.
talking about.
Yeah, Brooklyn for life.
But he was so fucking mad the whole way home.
Why?
Because he doesn't like walking.
Why didn't
Uh,
you guys just call an Uber or something?
I don't remember. We were like short on money, and then and my mom just didn't want to pick us up.
Were there Ubers back when Bridge to Terabithia? Wait, am
Doctor
I lost?
Strange.
Oh.
But,
I was like,
But because the part that got him really mad was that when you're walking home from Sheepshead, you have to walk past the sewage facility,
Yeah.
and it
Oh my
smells
God.
so bad.
It smells awful. In that
I
area.
remember him saying like we passed by and he just goes, "Oh boy, shit." Like he was, he just like kept saying that the whole way, and I was like, "I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do about it."
It's like a nostalgic smell for me at this point.
Ooh.
Like, every time I go to the movie theater, just
You know, funny story about Bridge to
Takes me
back.
Terabithia
Oh,
though.
what?
I said a funny story about Bridge to Terabithia before I forget. I feel like this is a spoiler, but if you haven't seen Bridge to Terabithia at this point, like you're just living wrong.
You are missing out.
Yeah, but
Man.
when you find out that the girl dies in that movie, I remember
Leslie.
thinking like, no, they set up like the Dark Lord in the forest. She's coming back. They're gonna save her at the end, and the movie fucking ended. And I was
Nah,
like,
she just,
what
like,
the fuck
smacked-
just happened?
She
That
just like
was on the
smashed
head.
her head against the rock or something.
Yeah, she
And
George the
drowns.
jungled that river.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
We've
not
come
funny when I
full
was a kid.
circle.
When I was a kid, I was like, "What the fuck?"
No, but I remember my mom being upset.
I
I'm
read
like,
the
don't worry,
book.
mom. It's a fantasy movie.
I'd
think
read the
also-
book, so I expected, like, I knew she was a goner as soon
think I
as it
read the book.
began.
I read the book after I saw the movie. I think.
You wanted to go
Oh.
through that again?
I wanted to see how much alike what it was.
Also, that Josh Hutcherson in that movie was such a dick when his teacher showed up to the girl's funeral. And he was like, "Hey, like, thanks for taking me out, like when off school hours to an art museum. My friend died, dickhead." And it was like, she didn't do that on purpose.
Aww.
I don't even remember that part.
She didn't kill your friend. You just didn't invite her.
Yeah. There was like a love triangle in that movie between him, his teacher, and Leslie.
Well, I wouldn't characterize it that way. I don't think she was. I don't think the teacher was in on it. I hope. I hope the
took him to an
teacher-
art museum.
Yeah, but platonically. He was like a child. Okay, I want to move away from that. Let's see what else I wrote down this week. Did you see anything, Adam?
Actually, no, I haven't. I was just like rewatching episodes of Breaking Bad while I did homework and stuff.
Oh, nice.
We've been watching King of the Hill nonstop.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
I binged both Guardians of the Galaxy movies with my parents, and I know Adam hates the first one. He hasn't seen the second one.
I hated the second one.
I like the second one, but the thing I wrote down in my notes about it that pisses me off whenever I watch it is that, like, why does everywhere in the galaxy have raccoon-sized uniforms?
You don't
Good
think
point.
that they had to commission someone to do it specifically?
I don't know. Like, when they go to the prison, they give him a little raccoon uniform with a hole for his tail. And then when they go to, like, the Ravagers, they're all getting, like, the red uniforms. They have a little raccoon one.
Maybe they just have better prisons out in space.
That did not seem like a nice prison. But I forgot that there's a joke in that first movie where, like, a character, like, says to Chris Pratt, like, I'm gonna go to town on your ass. And then they beat him up, like, before he can, like, sexually assault Chris Pratt in space.
Oh, is that the joke?
Yeah, that's the joke. Like, he goes, like, check out the new me. And, like, he just, like, touches Chris Pratt's face. He's like, I'm gonna go to town on your ass.
Oh
but
my
then,
god.
Then Groot rips his nose off.
Alright, we moved from Bridge to Terabithia sexual
Yeah, we're
abuse
really-
or something, and we've come right back to it.
Guys,
Is that why you brought up Guardians of the Galaxy?
Guys, please, Dan Shuffleman listens to this show. We can't.
He's the notable figure.
Yeah. Anyway, what
George
else?
Clooney listens to this show.
George Clooney. I wrote down the
How
Guardian.
do we know that he doesn't?
That's true. I mean, he hasn't commented yet, but Mr. Clooney, if you wanna come on the show and defend yourself.
He's keeping a low profile.
Yeah, he doesn't want us to blow up too quickly. But anyway, that was all my movie notes. But I wanted to bring up for you, Marella, because I don't know if you don't know this, Marella likes darts, like competitive darts, because it's like a silly sport to watch, right? That's like your whole.
I didn't even know that was
Yes.
a sport that they show on TV.
Darts is. I'm kind of sad. I haven't even checked to see if it's still on. I just figured that they'd canceled it too.
That seems like the good sport for a time like this, though, because you're 6 feet away from the board. Like,
it's so good. I've been like, I'll just watch reruns. I haven't even checked to see how it's going. But I am an avid dart lover.
Do you like to play darts too, or just watch?
No. I'm not good at darts.
The way she explained it to me, Adam, and you can back me up here, Merle, is that it's like the pageantry of WWE, but everyone's like such a middle-aged loser.
No, I wouldn't call them losers. Maybe kings.
Maybe kings.
So essentially, it'll just be like this dude that looks like just like some European dad, like some like English 50-year-old dude, and it'll just be like, this dude, there is a father of three, and then it'll like have like a WWE opening where they all have like a chant for him, and he like comes in, there's like flames shooting everywhere. There's the snake guy. He's got like he's got like a snake sticker. It's not even a tattoo on one side of his head, and he has this big mohawk that's like different colors all the time. He actually won the last world championship for the first time, and you should definitely pull up a picture of him. Peter, what is
it's called the darts show?
It's just darts. It's just professional darts.
I love that demand, Marella, because we've literally never put anything on the screen in this podcast, and so everyone's gonna expect just the logo. And for the first time, we might have to put up a picture of a guy that plays darts.
Or put some footage
Peter
of it.
Wright. Put up Peter Wright snake bite.
All right. I'll try to remember that when I send this off to
Oh
everyone.
wait, I just pulled this up. Someone asked where he got his nickname Snakebite.
Are you live streaming this? What are you talking about?
Well, I just wanted to look it up.
Oh, I thought you meant someone asked you, like they were listening in, and like I was like, "What are you live streaming this?" Yeah.
Oh no, I've given away my secrets. No, someone asked him where he got his nickname from,
Uh-huh.
and he said his wife gave it to him because he likes snakes.
Uh, a snake gave it to me when he bit me.
I was expecting a little. I don't know what I was expecting from that. I guess he
Like he
just
had
likes
a life or
snakes.
death situation with a snake bite.
I
Just
guess you
likes
don't
them.
really have those in
I
England,
just
right?
have 2 piercings under my lip. And
He doesn't. He's just got a sick mohawk.
Now I'm looking at pictures of Snakebite, and he has a different snake on his face every like game. It seems. So does he like
Yes.
redraw it every week, or does his
I
wife
think it's
draw
a
it for him?
sticker. I don't
he's
know.
like the Rey Mysterio of
He's
darts. Isn't Rey Mysterio the one that had like a different mask every time, right? I don't know if any of you even know that. I don't know.
I don't
no
know.
idea what that is.
He was like the one luchador in WWE.
Oh, I don't know. Darts seems far more interesting to me than
Yeah.
wrestling at this moment. But it
Anyway,
looks like he draws it on his
I
face every.
so, sometimes it's a sticker, sometimes it's a painting. I wonder if he hires someone to do it,
Probably.
or maybe he's pushing some art school students.
I mean,
He says he'll do it for.
he is in the darts championship. Like he's probably got dough to spend.
Yeah, it's like an ad. What do they say? What do they say? It's like a when you get a student to do free art. It's like not sponsorship.
Exposure.
Yeah, exposure. Oh, can you paint this snake on the side of my head? I'll do it. It's exposure. I'll
that's
be
where
on
the
TV.
that's where all the clients are is competitive darts. Anyway, Marella, the reason I brought up the dart thing is because I found another silly sport and I wanted to tell you about it.
Oh, okay. What is it?
So, do you know the YouTuber Moist Critical?
Yes.
So he's been making a bunch of videos about competitive slapping in Russia. Have you heard of this?
That sounds very Russian. No.
It's just 2 guys sit at a table, and then they slap each other as hard as they can, and it goes on until like the judge decides who was better at it, or if they just straight up pass out.
Oh my god.
And it's really good.
Awesome.
That's like the most Russian thing. I feel like everything that comes from there is the most Russian thing. So I guess
Yeah.
just
Objectively speaking.
slap fighting? That's nuts.
Yeah. And it.
Awesome.
But it's no darts. I'm sorry.
I have
Uh,
a silly sport as well.
What's your silly
What is
sport?
I heard about this years ago. I think it happens in the UK. There's a thing called cheese wheeling. I don't know if it's even a sport.
I know
or if
this.
It's just like an event.
Oh.
They just like throw a roll of cheese down a hill, and then like everyone tumbles after it.
I have seen that.
The cheese wheel wins every time.
Yeah. I don't understand what the point of it is, but like people like break
You
their
win the
bones.
cheese.
People like break their bones, and then you just get this like dirty, covered in
It's
like
like-
grass and dirt.
Wallace and Gromit's
Wheel of
favorite
cheese.
sport.
Cheese wheeling. Yeah, I'm a professional cheese wheeler. Oh, so you make cheese? No, I run down a hill once a year and I chase it.
I would
I've
like
never
to.
won any, but
I'd like to think that, like, you know
have
how
sponsors.
in like baseball cards and stuff, they have like cards of the players and then also the managers.
Yeah.
I'd like to
Yeah.
think that if they had cards for cheese wheeling, it would be both the rollers and the guys making the cheese.
Is it the same cheese every year, like type of cheese, or do you think they change it up?
They probably change.
That
it
would
up
be,
every so
but
often.
you age cheese, don't you? So that would be kind of cool if they had like one roll of cheese for like the
No,
championship every
because
year.
you win the
They
cheese.
use the same piece of cheese every single year.
Yeah.
You win the cheese. You win it. So they have to change it up. Do you think it's like all the same cheese? It is.
No, I'm sure they change it up every so often.
To
I'm
make
looking
sure
this up.
people aren't fucking with the cheese, like to get an unfair advantage.
The
People like break their
Cooper's Hill
bones.
cheese rolling and wake. Just someone so
Wait,
if
wake?
you die, they have a wake after. Well,
Yeah, people like break their necks like doing this.
oh my god.
Do they actually?
Yeah,
Oh my god.
crazy. People like actually hurt themselves.
That's
quite a
like
lot.
the running of the bulls that like people just fucking die and they keep doing it.
Oh, it was canceled this year due to the coronavirus.
People were willing
you
to
take
die by
everything?
like snapping their neck, like going after cheese, but not for the coronavirus.
As soon, I swear to God,
I
as
just looked
soon
up-
as that cheese rolls down the hill, I'll do anything. But I swear to God, if I catch the coronavirus, that's
It's like-
where I draw the line.
It's like such a steep hill, and there's like hundreds of people watching from down below.
I'm sorry. Also, I had to look this up because this was the reason I looked it up. It is the same cheese every year. It's double
Really?
Oh.
Gloucester. I
Wait,
can't
so it's
say
the
it.
same kind of cheese or the same wheel?
Same kind of cheese.
Uh,
A hard cheese traditionally made in a circular shape.
Well, that wouldn't be fair if like you won the cheese that year and you had to sacrifice it for next year.
well, what if they engraved your name in like the cheese? Like how they do
The current
trophies and stuff.
supplier is a local cheesemaker, Diana Smart, and her son Rod.
You know what? Her and Rod have had a monopoly on that game for too long, I would say.
Yeah, I think we need to outsource the cheese. I don't think it needs to be.
We
made
need to
in
take big
Gloucestershire.
cheese out of sports.
Dude, imagine how disgusting that wheel of cheese would be if they use the same one every year.
Ugh.
Do you think it tastes better
Um,
if you win it?
Probably, yeah. It's covered in like the blood and sweat of all the people rolling down this and dirt.
Can you
on that
imagine
hill.
like your parent wins the tournament but like snaps their neck at the very end, so you're just like a child at this game and they present you the wheel of cheese. like the flag at a military funeral. It's just like,
Well, that's why it's also the wake.
oh,
You lost your old man the cheese wheeling?
It's an honorable way to go.
they fill
I-
your coffin with Velveeta.
That's awesome.
It's disturbing.
I didn't know they made non-liquid Velveeta. I just found that out recently at the grocery store that you can get it like
in
shredded.
big blocks.
Oh, I didn't even know about blocks. I found it shredded.
My mom used to get it in the block. She'd save it for fancy mac and cheese,
Mm.
which doesn't sound like now. I'm like looking back and a block of Velveeta isn't exactly fancy, especially if it's been sitting
No,
in the
it's
cupboard.
not.
It's the opposite.
Yeah,
I mean,
but it
power to
wasn't
you
the
guys.
Wegmans like 25-50 cent thing, so it was the fancy cheese. We didn't have a lot of money.
Cheese really brought you guys together.
Yeah, cheese always brought us together.
All right. I don't think I have anything to say about this, and I don't know why I wrote this down, but it was late at night, and I was watching Chris Angel, and I wrote down in my notes, what if Chris Angel can just do that?
Hang on, wait, you were watching Chris Angel?
Yeah, and I wrote down in my notes,
Why?
what if Chris Angel can just do that?
I had the same question. Why were you watching Chris Angel?
I don't remember. I think I was also watching Critical, and he was doing like a video on Chris Angel.
Did you almost say just Chris?
What?
Oh, it sounded like there was a pause between Chris and Angel, and I was hoping you were on a
No.
first name basis with Chris.
Yeah, me and Chris. Chris, longtime listener, first time caller.
He can't. The answer to your question is he can just do that.
Chris Angel, if you can actually do that, then you need to enter the podcast right now. Like, just will yourself into here.
It depends on the trick, I think.
Yeah.
Fly.
Some
he can
dark
just do
magic
that.
is like too much for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did
He
you-
is still an angel.
Did you ever watch Magic's Biggest Secrets Finally Revealed?
No.
Do you know of it?
Is that with Penn and Teller?
No, it's like this guy called the Masked Magician went on like Fox and did a few episodes where he just like told people how magic worked.
What an asshole.
And like magicians
he broke
actually
a
hate him.
Muertas. What a scumbag.
His argument, I was reading up on like how do you justify that, and I was looking it up, and he was like, I felt like magic was becoming complacent with age old tricks, and I wanted them to learn new ways to amaze people.
Oh my goodness, that's some like mafia. The mafia magicians are gonna. He broke a muerta. They're
Yeah,
gonna
it's-
freaking.
What he did.
Don't be surprised when he's just disappeared.
Why would any magician want to go on his show?
No one,
Yeah,
no, they didn't.
wait.
They didn't go on his show.
They're-
He would create the first part of. So they'd have like 4 tricks every episode, and then there'd be like 5 minutes where they show you the trick, and then 5 minutes where the narrator's explaining what's happening while you see the trick from like behind or like another angle.
So he like calls out magicians that do these tricks. Like he'll be like,
He
yeah, this is
repeats
how
the
this
trick
is.
and then shows you how he did it. It's
I
like
hate him.
it's like common tricks that he shows.
Yeah, what's his problem?
No, I
It's
was
kind of like, yeah, what's he it sounds like a clown or like a magician like called him a name and he got really fed up and dedicated his life to like tearing them down.
one
like,
magician filed a lawsuit against him because one of the tricks he revealed, he said he made a living off of perfecting that trick, and now there was like no fooling people.
I looked
Oh.
it up to see what he looks like, and this mask is like ridiculous.
He did eventually reveal like who he was, but apparently like the magicians figured it out beforehand because they were like, I'd know that pageantry anywhere. Like the way he's doing those tricks, I'd know who it was.
Oh my gosh. I want him to like I haven't seen a picture of him, so I want him to like I'm picturing him as like someone very specific looking, like a short, fat, bald guy
He's
with like two different colored eyes.
he's like an
Yeah.
old Italian looking man.
Oh, I found him. He came up. Vale Valentino. Wow.
They also made a comic book about him, which
Why?
I want to read.
Man.
I don't know, but
What
I found it online. The Masked Magician, the graphic novel.
Oh my goodness, what an asshole.
I
Oh
I
my
I really
God.
hope the graphic novel is just like it's him revealing magic's biggest secrets, but they make it more like National Treasure, where it's like he's actually revealing like cult shit and like actual magic.
We need to summon the devil. I want him to be played by Nicolas Cage.
Well, I mean, I looked up that graphic novel, and it's appropriately published by Virgin Comics.
You know what else?
Bing! Best joke of the week.
You know what else I was thinking about? I think I tweeted about it, but I didn't write it down here. Do you guys remember Stan Lee's Superhumans?
No.
All of this was from watching the same guy on YouTube, but Stan Lee's Superhumans was a show on Sci-Fi where Stan Lee was like the narrator, but he didn't actually go anywhere because he's old and he didn't want to move. But this guy would go to different locations, and it's like, this guy says he has a superpower, and then they'd like,
Oh!
yeah.
Yeah,
And I was
had a cousin
thinking,
really into Marvel, and I think I would watch it when I babysat them.
I was thinking, watching clips of that, like this show would be so great if anyone had superpowers.
But there was that like little chubby kid that could stick magnets on his body.
Oh yeah, but I mean,
That sounds
maybe
like
he's
a
just
superpower.
sweaty and it sticks to him. I don't know. It's like everything on that show was like, I guess, a superpower, but not really.
Definitely a little different than what a normal person
Like if
can
they
do.
found a dude that straight up like flew, then yeah, you've got a show.
Well, they don't want to be exposed. They don't want to be unmasked. That's a whole nother series for the Masked Magician to do and then get
Yeah.
sued over.
The world's biggest superheroes finally revealed.
The fat kid that can glue spoons to his body, unmasked. You know him as Magnet Boy. His real name is
What'd you call him?
Magnet Boy.
Oh, I think he's a Big Nip Boy.
His real name is Big Nip Magnet Boy.
You
That's
nailed
how
it.
you know him, but his real name is Kyle Smith. Which is the most normal name in the world.
John Doe, the Magnet Boy.
Yeah, like something that if you Google it, you won't even come up. You're basically exposing nothing. John Smith.
Sci-fi,
Magnet
like
Boy.
Loki had some great reality shows.
Sci-fi? They
Yeah.
had like the one where the people make the masks.
Yeah, Face Off. I
Face
loved
Off.
that for the first 1.5 seasons. But the reason it started sucking is because they were like, we need to make this dramatic enough that nothing they ever make is going to come out good.
What?
You know what I mean? Like, they would be like, and for this competition, you have no hands. And they'd wake up and, like, look at their hands and they were gone.
What?
Not
No.
literally, but... Adam, are you still with us?
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry,
okay.
I've never seen the show.
He's just out of it. He's like, man,
He's in too
I'm
deep.
so good. They
You're
lost
still
their
looking at
hands?
Magic's biggest secrets?
We're still on we're on Magnet Boy.
Listen, if it ain't Cheese Wheel, and I'm clueless.
What do you said you were doing research. What are you looking at right now?
Me?
Yeah, didn't you say you were looking at something?
Oh no, I was looking
Oh.
at that show before that you were talking about.
Oh, well, yeah, Face Off, like any kind of show like that, Project Runway, which like not that I watch Project Runway, but like any show of that.
Why? Why wouldn't you watch that?
I thought that you
Why?
know what? I did watch Project Runway. No,
Uh-huh.
I watched which was the one with
Uh-huh.
Tyra Banks.
Sounds like you're trying to fit into the crowd
No,
now,
which
Michael. You're
legitimately, which was
switching
the
your
one with
answer
Tyra?
up too much.
I don't. I forgot that which is the one with Tyra Banks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, America's Next Top Model.
That's the one I watched. I didn't watch Project Runway. But my point was that format of show
Sure.
is that those people are always really good, and the only way to make the show interesting is that they have to keep like making it harder for them to do good shit.
Yeah, I guess that's true. We just watched one where they do glass, like they make glass stuff, and it was really very good.
I imagine
But
like the majority of that show is the glass breaking, and then it's just like fuck.
it really is. They no joke, they just break the glass, and then that's like the struggle. Then they have to like remake it really quick. And like the winner was this like chick who was her like final. I don't know if I should spoil it. I mean, I don't know.
I don't think
You guys
anyone's
are
gonna mind.
invested in the. Wait, I lost my headphones for a sec. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what the heck? My headphones came out. I can't hear you guys.
And that is why editing exists.
Thank God. I got you though. Okay, so what was I
Okay.
talking about? Oh, right.
Glass. Yeah, the show.
Okay, yeah. So I don't want to spoil anything, but I'm gonna. So
Okay,
I do
do
want
it.
to spoil anything. So the winner was this chick that she was like she hated men, and that the
And
only
that's why she made glass.
yeah, because she wanted to be like the female glass blower. Even though there were a bunch of other girls in the like competition,
It's
they
not
weren't
a very
necessarily
gendered
good.
position. Like,
I know, that's what I'm thinking. Like, who's thinking like a woman can't blow glass? Like, no one's thinking that. But she took everything so seriously. So her like final piece, like they had to make a political statement or something. Her like final piece was all these sausages and eggs, and like the
What?
sausages were like hanging from the ceiling and symbolizing that there's men. It was so
There's
weird.
Too many
And
penises in the world.
yeah,
I
and
know-
they loved it.
I know that like the prerequisite that you're imagining we're gonna go with is that the bacon and egg was made from glass. But I like the idea of her showing up with bacon and egg, and they're like, "Where's the glass?"
It's in the bacon and eggs.
This is why.
She had this one piece everyone was loving, and it was literally she made potatoes out of glass. She's like, it's beautiful in its own way, much like, women in the glass industry.
Meanwhile, those were actually just like the
We have
failed
no choice but
sausages
to
that she
stand.
tried to make.
What'd you say, Adam?
The potatoes were actually just like the reject sausages that didn't come out right.
Did she just always do food?
Yeah, she did a lot
She
of
wanted to
food.
make like the ugliest shit you could make out of glass.
Yeah, because you were supposed to make like a flour, and she made like potatoes,
Sausage.
and they were like, "This is
She's like,
beautiful."
it's kind of a flower.
We were watching it, and we were like,
It's
"Oh, she's
impersonal.
gonna do like potato flowers. Those are actually kind of pretty." Nope, just potatoes. It was just potatoes, and they were thrilled by it. I hate art.
Hey everybody, Kid Michael here. It's once again time to advertise our ad space. So we have no advertisers or sponsors currently, and we'd very much like to have them. So Marella, you're the guest this week. If you could have one free thing from a guest for this show, what would you want?
So this is who would be like in the ad, who would like
Yeah.
have in the ad. Probably a mattress. So Casper mattress. I need a
Casper?
mattress.
You know what? That one's kind of gettable. They do podcasts. Yeah, so Casper,
Yeah.
you get one free ad, and then if you want more, you got to come to us. And we will gladly sleep in your mattresses.
Oh my goodness. I sleep in a twin bed with a grown man.
It's a weird way of putting it, but
He's my boyfriend. It's not just some random guy.
yeah. All right. What was it again, Casper? If you're listening, we'll say anything. We'll lie about your mattresses. All right. On that same
Quitting art.
on that same YouTube binge, I discovered this show. You ever seen Forged by Fire?
No.
Oh, that's the one where they make the swords.
Where they make swords and weapons and stuff.
Yeah.
The funniest thing about that show is that they'll make these swords and you'll be like, that is a great ass sword. And then they will like completely destroy them for like the most random shit. Like you'll see a beautiful sword and then like they'll be like, there's a scrape right over here. And then like it'll zoom in and there'll be like a little scratch and then you just hear like the dramatic noise.
What do you mean? Like they destroy the swords?
No,
Is that
well
so
they actually
strange?
do a lot. But that's another funny thing is that they'll test the swords for durability, and then some of the swords break. Like if they hit them against metal, they'll crack in half.
Ooh.
Or in this one case, the sword was doing beautifully, and they stabbed it against metal, and it held fine. But then they were like, "You see that? There's a little splinter in the handle now. It is no longer safe to use this sword."
Oh wait, guys, I have a really good sword story.
Oh, by all means.
Go for it.
Okay. there was this guy in high school that had like this big crush on me.
Uh-huh.
I like
And
where this is going.
Yeah.
yeah, I used to do my makeup in the morning, and I would do it in first block when I had class with him, and he would stare at me, and he'd go, "It's art, you know," and I'd just be like, "Okay, I'm some, like 15, 16-year-old or whatever,
Wait,
just
sorry,
doing
what's art? I think I missed something.
Like
what?"
the makeup.
Oh,
Oh
the
yeah,
makeup. He would
she'd go, yeah, he would go, "That is art. That is just that's beautiful. You know, it's art, you know." And I'm just sitting there like, okay, like I'm not good at it anyway. And so and he would like just sit there and stare, and he goes, "You know what else I do? You know what? I'm kind of an artist. You know what I do?" And he pulls out his like flip
Oh my
phone.
god.
I thought you were gonna say
Oh,
sword.
I thought you
He
were
like
gonna say
he
that.
unsheaths
His sword.
Excalibur.
Well, he was that kind of kid. He was like the weird kid that would wear like full suits to class.
Chainmail.
No, not like
No, I
no,
get what you mean.
he'd wear like really cheap like three-piece suits to school and like hit on random girls. And he invited me to like Chinese, and I was like, "No."
Like
Like
Chinese
that
like
was like a
class.
fancy dinner.
Oh,
No,
Chinese
like
food.
yeah, he invited
Oh,
me to
like
like go to Chinese food and stuff to try and like hit on me, and I'd be like, "No," and he would give me all these video games, but they were all like Devil May Cry, and I was like,
of course.
but anyway, so he goes, "This is what I do. This is my art." And he makes like he shows me this thing, and he's got like a sword, like a really bad looking knife. And so that's like what I'm leading into is this guy made swords and collected swords. And one day um he slid his phone over to me, and he's like, "Can I have like a really deep question for you. Can I name my sword after you?" I was like, "Sure."
Oh, I was really hoping you said
I,
yes.
I did. I was like, "Yeah, that's fine, I guess." Like, that's really weird. He's like, it's an Assassin's Creed replica sword."
Oh.
Um, yeah, so he asked me out by sliding his phone over to me with a picture of the sword, and in the note section he said, "Go to the note section," and then walked away for 20 minutes
That's
Why didn't you
really
just
in the
steal his
middle of
phone?
class. And it said, "Will you be my girlfriend?" Also, I'm like 16 or 17 or whatever, and I'm just like this is weird. um
Who says chivalry is dead? You know.
exactly. I mean, what else are you gonna name your sword after?
You
I
know, what would have been? You see, he messed up, right? Like what he should have did was bring the sword to class and engrave the words "Will you go out with me" on the
That's what
sword,
I was
and
thinking.
then walk away for 20 minutes.
Show up in
No,
like
he
a
just had a
robe that
really
like
bad picture of it.
you know Marella in Return of the King when the Elf King has reforged the Sword of Gondor and the way he reveals it to Aragorn.
Yes,
That's how it should have been done.
he should have like unraveled
He
it.
should have been wearing really long sleeves so he could just take it out.
He gets on,
And
he
then
gets on
you
one
you
knee
just
and
like
presents it.
unsheath it right in his face and like look at it and it says, "Will you go out with me?" That's
Will
why
you go
you
to
said
Chinese
no.
with me? Will you be my girlfriend? If only you.
I was gonna say
I'm
though,
not.
if he kept saying that about your makeup, like I would have totally like just made my makeup worse every day to see how long it was art. You know what I mean?
You know, he'd give me weird stuff. Like he would give me the video games, and like, he gave me like these really bad paints.
Did you
Like
keep the games?
yeah, oh yeah, I still have them. Are you kidding me?
Because you said you played Assassin's Creed, right?
Yeah, I played Assassin's Creed. I
Did
was pretty
did he get you
into
into
it.
it?
No, no, I liked it, and that was like I think in his mind he's like this neckbeard,
This is the one.
you know, kid, fedora wearing, and he like I think he was like, "A girl that play video game? I gotta get on this." Like, okay, I only played 2 games, but okay. So that's why he got this sword that was Assassin's Creed replica
Yeah.
sword.
This is genuinely. Do you think he renamed the sword, or do you think he was like, let this be a reminder?
I feel like I should ask him because I think we're friends on Facebook. Hey, is your sword still named like Marella?
It's gone through like 5 different girls' names,
Wait, so,
and you weren't the first.
Did he make the swords himself, or he just bought them?
No, okay, so he made some. That was like his art or whatever. They were really rough. But he also bought like video game replica swords. I think he had like no, he had like katanas and stuff. Like he collected swords also.
I thought
So
I thought you were saying he forged them.
That's what
Oh,
I thought as well.
Oh, I'm sorry. He forged like some, but the one he wanted to name after me, he didn't.
So he
Wow.
just bought
Sadly.
a Assassin's Creed sword and asked if he can name it after you. That's not cool.
No, it's not cool at all. And so
That's
when I
not
said
cool at all.
to him, he like
That's
went
not
around.
that's not
with,
fair
like,
to you
punch
or Ubisoft.
lockers. Yeah. He like freaked out and was like punching lockers, and he was like saying how his life is over and he's gonna end his life.
This was right after you said no?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He left class and did that. I was really weirded out.
I would have been
And
like,
then-
that! Forge with that!
And then I ignored him, for the rest of the year.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
natural.
Yeah, and he ended up dating a girl who told me she was allergic to soap.
I really thought you were going to say swords.
Marella never disappoints with her stories.
Oh my God, that's great.
I have a lot of weird high school stories, a lot of weird people. There was a kid that would bend spoons with his knives, not his
Wait,
mind.
what?
We would call him Karate Kid, and he would say his girlfriend was an Irish druid who could shoot flames from her hand.
Wait, I'm sorry. Did he bend spoons with his mind?
No, he would sit at your table randomly. Like, he'd just go to random tables, pull out a spoon, and stare at it for, like, the 30 minutes of lunch.
And it wouldn't work.
No. I don't think he's ever bent one. I don't even know what his real name was.
I bet
just
though
knew
the
we
first
called him Karate Kid.
I bet though the first time he did it, every time people were like, "Holy shit!" And then like this never happened, and they're like, "All right, this is getting old."
I wonder where he's at now.
Stanley's Superhumans.
He's moved on to
Oh my God, he supplied the spoons. Oh, Stanley Superhuman. Oh.
I don't think I can even bend a spoon with my hands.
I'd bend spoon in ice cream. Come on, Michael.
Yeah, come on.
You're not
I don't think
physical
it's as hard as
therapy
you
for your hands.
That sword guy. Wow.
Yeah, I bet he's doing some crazy stuff. I'm pulling him up on Facebook. I'm sure it's riveting.
Next
my
guest
goodness.
on the podcast.
Next guest on the podcast?
Oh my God, I will have him on. I'm not
Sword guy.
Sword guy, yeah. Have him
Oh
on
my
and
God.
defend himself because this is kind of slander. So. Oh shit!
Oh.
I'm sorry. That was my.
He's in the
warning.
house. He's in Michael's house.
You heard
What are
that?
you doing?
You heard that metal clanging, right? That's.
Yeah.
Sword
At
guy.
all.
He's coming.
Sword guy.
He's coming to us. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
All right. What else did I? The only two other things I have on my list, I wrote. You guys know Echo the Dolphin?
I-
No.
Do unfortunately.
So Echo the Dolphin was a Sega Genesis game where you played as like a hyper realistic dolphin, and I think fought aliens, right? Like aliens like took over the planet and like stole a bunch of dolphins, and it's like this psychedelic kind of disturbing video game where there's like Geiger-esque aliens and you have to fight them.
What?
Were you playing it recently?
And you're
No,
a
I was watching a
dolphin?
video about it. The reason I brought it up is because I wrote down Echo the Dolphin would make a cool movie.
Wait, guys, I have a thrilling update on Sword Guy.
Okay, you do that while I look up the synopsis of Echo the Dolphin.
All right, two things going on. Here we go. He's engaged.
Oh my God. The one that got away.
Someone liked that sword.
That's great.
Maybe I should try and take him back.
Yeah, I
Oh my
bet you
God.
feel foolish
Yeah, mess
now.
up his life like Cricket in what's it? Always Sunny. Just
Yeah.
like take him back for a minute and then just ruin his life.
I was really hoping he'd have some posts on Facebook, but it's all his fiance.
I'm happy for Sword Boy.
Yeah, I guess I'm glad he's out there, living his life.
Yeah. We have no choice but to be Stan. We're very happy for
Just
him.
to stand.
All right,
We stand, Sword Boy.
EchoTheDolphinFandom.com. Let's see if this says anything for me. Echo the Dolphin
I've
is
never even heard of.
Echo the Dolphin is an underwater adventure created by Ed, and I'm not going to say his last name, and developed by Nova Trade and Sega. This is not exactly what I was looking for. Wow, that had nothing.
Look at the dolphin. Looks like the most like uninteresting game. It's just like you're just like a dolphin, like a hyper
Yeah, but you
realistic
fight
dolphin.
aliens and shit.
I don't know that part of it.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, but you
that's
can do that in games where you're a person.
Yeah, you could just play like
I know, but
Alien.
something about like
The
a
one based on the movie.
Spielberg-esque '80s film where like a dolphin has to take on the aliens invading the planet.
I think you need to.
You know what?
Send a word in to...
I'm gonna send you a screen, like a picture of it, and through Discord, and then I'll put it up in the episode. Echo, you guys keep talking about Sword Guy or something,
What was there was like a
and
new
then
thing I
I'll
found
put
out.
it in the episode. What?
I found out that's the I gotta find it. There was like some scandal about like the drug cop that would come into our school. I don't know if he got busted for either banging the dogs or
What?
for having drugs on him. But it could go either way in my town, honestly.
Okay,
There was a guy that used to
I'm
come to
gonna
your school
go
and
back
talk
to that
about drugs.
immediately, but this is the final boss of Echo the Dolphin.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so that would make a movie.
I don't know if I would watch a movie about a dolphin.
I don't know.
I
I
also don't know
saw
about
a
that.
dolphin tail in person.
Here's what
Dolphin without the tail, and I never even saw the movie.
I would not watch it unless the dolphin was practical.
I feel like dolphin movies are horse movies. I think
For-
they're on
for
the same
fish.
level.
They're the
They're
horse
horse
of the
movies
sea.
for fish.
For people
I would-
from Long Island.
Adam, I would argue
Or Florida.
seahorses are the horses of the sea, but
No, not the horses of the sea. Dolphin movies and movies about whales
are to mermaids
Are-
what horse movies are to us.
are to Floridians and grandmas
Floridians.
as to horse movies are to also Floridians and grandmas. I think it's the same thing.
All right, but you said something about dogs and a security guard or something?
Yes, I'm trying to find this.
Is this a news story you're trying to?
No, I just found out about it recently.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to find it. Let me see here. Boo-ba-doo.
So Adam,
Just,
you didn't know that was what Echo the Dolphin was? You thought it was just a game where you played as a dolphin?
Yeah, I don't like. I'm even looking at screenshots of it, and I don't see any aliens.
Did you see the one I sent in Discord?
Yeah, I did, and that's news to me. I don't even know why we're talking about Echo the fucking Dolphin.
I just think it would make a good movie.
I've never even heard of it.
I'm just surprised it didn't take off as much as
It looks like
Sonic.
the most like uninteresting game I've ever seen.
Yeah, no, I've heard it's not great, but
Wait, hang on, Michael.
yeah,
You've never even played this game?
no. I was watching someone play it on YouTube, and I was like, they were describing what the game was about and how it ends and stuff, and I was like, I'd watch that like as a movie with a live action dolphin and like imagine the ending of Aliens, where she's like, get away from her, you bitch, like that, but with dolphins.
Quentin Tarantino, what are you doing? Come on.
Yeah, he wanted to make a Star Trek movie. This is kind of similar, space, I guess.
There you go.
Weren't there?
Yeah, I can. What's that?
Porpoises and Star Trek have a very close relationship since the fourth movie, right?
They're not porpoises. Those are humpback whales.
Aren't whales porpoises?
Isn't a porpoise a specific thing?
I don't know. It's like squares and rectangles. Who cares?
I thought a porpoise. I can't believe we're talking about porpoises. I thought. I thought. I can't even finish what I'm saying. It's like a dolphin without a nose. It's like a shitty wrong dolphin.
Would a narwhal be a porpoise?
Oh my god! Wait, do you know
I
the?
have no idea what the fuck a narwhal is.
Do you know the
If I'm
dolphin?
allowed to swear on here.
Did you ever watch Drunk History, Marella?
Yeah, I love Drunk History.
Do you know the hand job story about the dolphin?
I do.
Adam,
Oh,
do you
I know the story.
That's
Yes, I
so
do.
funny. This is not gonna make the cut, I guess, because we all know it already. But did you find that what you're looking for?
I found it.
Okay, so walk us through this.
This is why we never got a DARE program, which I thought that they just canceled it as a...
DARE is
I didn't
the
know that
drug
it-
prevention thing.
Yeah, so we never got one, and I thought it was because of a certain... Like, I thought the whole thing was shut down and no one got DARE. So, I was at Catholic school at the time, so I didn't go through this, but Oh no, this is in high school. Okay. My class didn't get the DARE program in middle school because the cop that was supposed to run the program got busted for selling coke from the evidence locker. Okay.
Excellent.
What was the dog thing?
I don't know why I thought that there was something
Yeah,
to do with
Oh
dogs.
my
I
god.
might be confusing stories. There's a lot that happens in my
you knew a
town.
guy
It's a
that.
very weird place.
Yeah, I mean he'll do that, but not that. Like my god.
What's better? I don't know.
The coke thing, I would say. Um, all right. I want to just so we eventually get to it. We got to get to the school stuff while you're here.
Boo.
Boo! No, come on. Uh, so we are in Dan Shuffleman's class. You and I, or one of them. I need you to work with me here. You got to react to what I'm saying.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh.
just go. No, I
Whoa.
mean just gonna be like yeah, Anyway,
Oh.
um,
Mm-hmm.
so we're all doing group projects. Adam's not in this class though, so he can't really relate. But we're all doing group
Haha,
projects.
nerd. Get out of here.
Should I just leave now?
Yeah, you're out of the club.
So we're all doing group projects that are supposed to be story development. Uh, and you're working on Sweaterverse, right?
I'm on Sweaterverse.
Is there an Instagram page for that?
We have a single post. I think the
Ah,
Instagram is just called Sweaterverse. I'll pull it up just to be sure.
all right.
Um, we have our Instagram, Sweaterverse. Yep, that's what it is.
What's the project that you guys are doing?
Where it's 4 people in a group, and we have to create like a story and like concept art and stuff, and it's all based around parts of New York, or it was supposed to. No
Oh,
one really cared, but no, I'm
yeah,
kidding.
we have five
We did kind
people.
of we did actually follow that part, but or I did anyway. I don't know if you did. What was your location?
Ours is Union Square.
Union Square. Okay.
Yeah.
And describe to Adam and to our audience like, what the shtick of the story was.
Okay, so there's five of us in our group, and we're all doing 5-page comics. The
Okay.
essential story is there's 5 different timelines, and there's one character. So it's more like an alternate universe where there's 5 different alternate universes like layered on top of each other, and the same character in all those universes kind of has to like come together.
Dave, right?
And yeah, his name's Dave. There's a girl. I don't know if her name's Dave or not, honestly. I have
What?
but they're all Dave. Or and the whole shtick is that they all wear a sweater vest. Which I drew a sweater vest on my character, and then it was someone like pointed out, hey, why don't you all have them wear sweater vests? And so that's what we did. So we're Sweaterverse. That's the whole.
And so, talk to me about like the teamwork aspect of it. What has that been like, the communication and whatnot?
So we're pretty independent just because we wanted to find a way to like do our own thing, along with combining it all into a cohesive narrative, kind
Mm-hmm.
of. I guess a lot of people kind of went that way. Probably a lot that has like a lot to do with, being like in school and still wanting to do something
Yeah.
you want to do
Mm-hmm.
before you're tossed out into the world and have to do other people's stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we're just trying to keep like a similar lineup. Um, the whole like our 5-page comic, it kind of ends on them. I think the whole thing is it's how they find the portal.
Mm-hmm.
So there's gonna be like a portal that the character sees, and that's how they kind of communicate with the other um universes, like the parallel universe.
Okay.
So and the same color, like the uniting color, I think it's gonna be yellow. Like they're all gonna have the same color portal,
Mm-hmm.
just to tie it together a little bit.
So, what were the parameters you guys set for yourself? Like you said, 5-page comic. Is there anything else that you have to have done by the deadline?
Just the 5-page comic and like a cover.
Mm-hmm.
like to start your comic. And I think most of them are going to be, I don't know if everyone's is, but I think we're trying to keep it like no dialogue. I think we want it to be like very visual.
And I
But
assume by that point, when it's all done, you'd have the 5 comics uploaded on Instagram.
uh, oh yeah, I think so.
Okay.
We're working on the website right now. I think right now we just have a PDF and we're trying to figure out we're doing like a Wix site or
Yeah.
something. Um, so yeah, I can. I don't know what else. If you want to know like the like storylines, like everyone's
Yeah.
kind of
So
got their own.
yours specific. Just talk about yours specifically for now, and then your Dave is just like a regular guy, right?
Yeah, so my Dave is just like a modern day normal guy. Just kind of seems down on his luck. You're not really sure what his backstory is, but
Mm-hmm.
he's having a bad day, and then he goes and he gets drunk, and then he walks to Union Square, and um, he falls into a fountain, but it kind of never ends, so he just keeps falling, and then he hits the ground and he wakes up and he realizes he's just in the same place, but then he starts like seeing things,
Oh,
and then he runs back and the portal's not there anymore. So it's kind of like ambiguous if he actually was seeing the stuff or if it was in his head.
so this is like pseudo anthology where it's connected, but it's still.
Yeah, yes, yeah. Um, like Tales from the Crypt.
Have you guys been like concerning yourselves at all with like you guys connect it this way, but are you guys at this point in the game invested in like any form of payoff, or is that, or when you're coming up with these, are you just thinking about how it would affect your personal story? Like you're not thinking about why any of this is happening in correlation to the other stories. Am I making any sense?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think we were thinking. I think as an overall theory, there's like an overlying um like force that's kind of like threatening all these universes, like threatening destroying them. We haven't come up with that. We're just trying to keep it simple, but we do have like based on what we're thinking. So I'm trying to think where I lost my train of thought. Um, wait one sec. Okay, yeah. So yeah, we have like we're thinking of having like one full. We're not gonna comic or anything.
Sorry, you're cutting
And
out a little
then
bit. Repeat that.
oh, sorry. Um, did you hear about like how we have like in theory there's like a force bringing them together because they're threatening to destroy
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the universes. Okay. And then so my guy I think he's gonna be kind of in and of itself like the antagonist simply because he's a cynic and he doesn't believe what's actually happening is real and it's like
Mm-hmm.
kind of in his head. And so though like he doesn't mean to be
Right. He's like
a
the
bad guy.
unwilling
Yeah.
force of evil, kind of.
Yeah, like he doesn't want to do evil, but he doesn't believe that any of it is a thing. But again, none of this is gonna actually like be in the PDF or on the
Right.
website. We're just doing like a quick 5-page comic. This is just the overlying story that it would lead into.
Right. Okay. Um. All right. That's so you find the overall process so far has been pretty good working with other people in the class. You already went over that.
Yeah.
Um.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I guess I guess that's all there is to
Yeah.
cover.
Oh,
Um.
should I say the names of my like
Oh, sure. Yeah.
my class, my group?
So you can find the group at
Sweaterverse.
Sweaterverse.
One word.
One worse.
Like
Okay.
Spider-Verse, but Sweaterverse. We're better actually. Not to like
Better.
brag or anything.
Jeez.
Yeah, then Spider-Verse, I would say. Just because it's like a guy in a sweater and, Spider-Man doesn't have a sweater,
Yeah, he
so.
does. In
He
that
has a
movie.
hoodie. It's a hoodie. It's not the same.
All right. All right. Um. Okay, so I guess we can kind of wrap it up right here. Uh, Thanks so much for coming on, Marella.
Thank you.
So where can people find you specifically?
So you can find me on Instagram. It's Marella Moon, ELLAMOON.
Sorry, she said
Or
Marella Moon. That you cut off. So I'm just... Hello?
that's my Instagram, or my website is morellamoon.com.
Okay. So yeah, thanks for watching the Kid Michael show. It's the Kid Michael show. I messed up my own title. My guest today has been Marella at Marella Moon, and you can find her at Marella Moon on Instagram again. You can find me and more information about the podcast on at Kid Michael Art on Instagram. You can find Adam at Adam's and Atrocity on Instagram. Again, my guest has been Marella. My co-host has been Adam Ali. Our theme song was written and performed by Matthew Rosenthal. And this podcast is edited by Aristides Panagas. Thanks, everybody.
Later.